Hey guys, Metaphysical Mama. Welcome, welcome. How's everyone doing? Just gonna allow a few seconds for it to make sure we're in the stream. So have a seat. I just wanted to pop on. First of all, it's like super duper beautiful and ridiculously hot. I think it's only a little after 8 in the morning presently AM backwards ma. And please subscribe and hit the bell. And I welcome you and appreciate your time and energy to come and hang out. And we are getting hit with super, super solar flares and CMEs, which is corona mass ejections. And we had K2, the comet, which like Rahu and K2 in Vedic astrology, and kind of the flip side, which I want to get into, the flipping of poles. We're doing a lot of polarity flippings, and there's a lot of avoidance, right? We're all familiar with the terms divine masculine, karmic, twin flames, right? Which again, different words are different frequencies, right? Like different radio stations, 144, of information that comes streaming in. So when we start to disconnect a little bit of with the emotion, I mean, we want to feel the emotion and experience it as it rises up because we're getting ignited with, I just said, those corona mass ejections and the comet and K2. If you want to look that up, I'll have to see if I could do some. I don't know if I'm not going to mess with my phone because once I get on here, I get knocked off quite easily. So if I start messing around and playing around, it's probably going to knock me off. But I would totally suggest look like earthsky.org is a good site. They give you some good information like daily about what's going on and just like the skies and whatever is coming up naturally in your frequency field. Okay, it's like if you can close your eyes and in your mind's eye, right? If you don't already have awareness how to do this, because you may, right? Obviously, being here, you do this already. But sometimes too, it's like when, for me personally, it's like, right, we just do things naturally how we are. We don't really recognize ourselves until somebody else points something out to us or describes, right? The scribes describe something in detail, right? Or use words, right? Resonance and vibration creates form, right? The word was with God. So as words come traveling through, whether in our mind, right, or we're watching a video with someone, right, like me talking, or just in your room, right, if you have something on, right, a commercial comes on or a song comes on, or you're driving and you see, right, a word on a truck, or right, something grabs your attention, right? Gravity, we're gravitated, attracted magnetically, right, towards something on the wing, something flying around. So that, which is like again, the way I'm using these words is just a description for me to be able to explain after I'm able to see like, oh, that's kind of what I do. So it's not coming from an egotistical perspective, right? Which we're all dealing with a lot of mega super narcissist, the word, right? Which we can all play that part too, right? Because again, I, the reason I always I flip it after I say something is because we always have to look at ourselves too. It's like, have I ever behaved that way or felt that way in my past? And so then I can recognize it with others. And that's why we work with others right, on such a deep level, especially as, right, like Heyoka empaths and what have you. There's many of us that have volunteered, right, and you know who you are inside, because it's like, I don't belong here my whole life. I don't know why I don't quite fit in. What the hell is going on around here, kind of thing. Can you relate? 519, ancestral blood cleaning time. So not feeling, knowing we're, right, part of the world, right, in the world, but not of the world. So our thoughts and feelings are a little different, right? Like I have Aquarian moon, right? So my inner, right, my heart and my third eye and like right where I stand, where I come from is very, right, out there, right? Like philosophy, right? It's like Sophia, the Gnostics, and way from outer space, right? That's, Aquarian is like extra and ultra terrestrial, right? E.T. and U.T. Ooh, backwards, right? Ooh, and Te. And then, so, right, Satan goes backwards. The devil will jumble all the letters like Scrabble. Or make acronyms, right? It can be this and that, and we can take one out and it can sound like, right? So being more playful, right? And right, also to not, that's what I was saying about flipping it, right? It's like, okay, we see devilish activity in somebody. So then we're going to bring that energy back in a sense. Don't let it sink in like a sponge, but allow the energy to present itself gradually and that, or however it comes naturally, right, in that moment. And then your job, my job, our job is to alchemize that shit and neutralize it best we can, right? It's like, oh, I could see that 707, right? And then I can bring it back and relate it. And every sin has the equal or opposite virtue on the other end. So again, what's the polarity of the situation, of the person, place, or thing, activity, behavior that we're experiencing, emotion, dynamic, equation, situation, if I didn't say that word already, etc., whatever, right? It's kind of to clear the words. It's like bubbles. They're inflating them, and we're just like bubbles. But we don't have to necessarily. I mean, like you should definitely, get yourself clean. But sometimes also, if you wash yourself too much, or you're putting too much chemicals on or in your body's not able to absorb these codes, right? These are DNA frequency codes coming from the star systems, right? The suns, the stars. The word sun means star, right? The sun is a star, right? That's one. How many do we see at night? Right? Presently, I'm in AM time on the eastern coast, and it's a little after 8 a.m., right? According to the timetable. But things are in flux right now, in transition. And the word time, right? Time is a measurement, and time is also an entity, and time is fluid, right? Like the amniotic sac within a mother, where the baby is held, right? It's like the foster parent, or you guys remember from Lady and the Tramp? And Lady and the Tramp had the dog, was it Nana? She was like the St. Bernard dog, Nanny. So, right, it's like the doula, right? And then there's a lot of nasty stories from history. How does a rumor get started anyway? How does something go viral, right? Through the currents, through the waves, right? Everything is a current or a wave, a currency. So what we're doing with those, how we are alchemizing that energy, that's what we need to take a look at now. Refocus whatever's pissing you off, whoever's pissing you off, right? Whoever, whatever. right? And we're going to go through those emotions and feel pissed off, because those are feelings and those are energies that come up through us. So, but how we're handling them is a whole nother scenario, right? So whether you want to be like, hey, we all been like X-Men and super soldiers and all these different right, like, and right, God's warriors and spiritual warriors and of the dark and the light, because and I don't like when people are like, oh, just stay in the light or go to the light. Well, you have to understand and understand your dark before you can balance that out and actually create your own light. See, so when others are just chasing others' light and saying they're of the light, that's like the 1044 moth to a flame scenario to me. Be real, just caution to the wind. When someone says they have this information or just accept it or that's the way it is, or start reacting in a right negative forceful way, or they just want you to stay completely on task so that they're not willing to receive the information 1111 so that they have the proper information in order to have a solution. One needs the proper information to be clear. If I'm listening to a song on the radio, say, which how many of us do it? Well, we have the internet banging in and out. Anybody got some boiling stuffs going on? Or messing with your phone? Again, gamma, great grandma, gamma rays, like, and those little rays are things we can't see, right? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And that's how you realign your chakras. I've said that before. A body of water, right? So where's re? Do, re. That's like the sacral chakra area. So many have been using, right, are fighting over. And if and originally say there's two, well then there's going to be another on the other side to have an equal balance. Otherwise, everything would be Uranus. Everything would be asshole. See that blue sky? Why do we call the sky blue during the day? There's a baby blue. Where is the boy who looks after the sheep? Under a haystack, fast asleep. So if I haven't introduced myself, please let me introduce myself. My name is this obviously metaphysical channel, so we ride the waves. So things are not always going to be logical here. It's kind of like Alice in Wonderland, my dears. So I just allow what comes in through the waves, and I don't really get too caught up in the political correctness or what people are going to get too upset about and what I say, right? And 1333, if it does get someone upset or trigger, right? Luciferian also is like, right, Braille, how do you fall? Well, what goes up must come down, and vice versa, right? That's how we discovered gravity in the first place, right? Newton. What goes up must come down. Spinning wheels go round and round. Please like, subscribe, and hit the little belly bell. Ding, ding. For whom the bell tolls, time marches on. Oh, they got jokes today. And it's all so much music. So when we pay attention to like the sounds that come in your head, it's like all these bits and pieces, right? Bits. Keywords. Reese's. Pieces. Remember E.T.? Love them Reese's Pieces. So anyhow, but super important to I just dropped look. To be more playful. Remember what it's like to be a little child, because you're a little child inside, right? And as we're doing this, like, right, everyone's experiencing this, right? So it's really important to listen. The heart chakra is opening because these codes that are being sent down from the cosmos work in tangent, is that the right word? Tangent with the inner sun. So there's a ball in the center, right? Like the core, the nuclei of the earth, which is what creates the electromagnetic field that comes out, and we call that the torus field, right? So it comes from the heart chakra and travels outward, and like if you're swimming, right? So, and then it gets higher. Go higher, baby. Higher, baby. And then we're inside that torus field, right? So in your mind's eye, if you can be in that and know it's like being inside the water fountain, right? My cup runneth over. So now with the cosmos, the cosmic rays, the corona mass ejections, CME, look that up, because that has a lot to do with, right? It's all radiation. Like if you get into the comprehending, right, the Jesus bloodline, Dracula, it's all about the blood, right? The blah, blah, blah. Drinking the wine, turning water to wine, right? And it's radioactive. The sun is radiation, right? The red ray. We can't see. There's many color spectrums and what have you that we, with our human eye, are not able to see, right? 1717. And if you don't like my smoking, I do apologize, but there's an old school sacred tradition of ours. So, and two, that's something really important too. When people think they know, right? Keyword, think that they know, because children, okay, here, Atlantis, see? I'll read some of that book. I always want to read that book with you. Did you even see it? It looked like my phone just messed up. Hey, show the people. The sun's messing with me. Can you see? I can't see. Hopefully you can see. So we're many things, right? Multi-dimensional beings, which is, again, what's a dimension? Is that a spectrum that can go, right, like 2 ways from a point, right? Like an open triangle, okay? And then between those 2 points, obviously there's an invisible line, whether it's connected or not, too. So many things are unseen, right? How we feel, how we think, how the thoughts that are coming in and through us from, right, the world into our spectrum, so that we're able to, in some sense, perceive, right, Perseus, right, or Metatron, up and down the lines of time, which are different timelines, different radio frequencies, right, coming from Uranus, Your Highness, right? Hiney, I see ya, Hiney, all white and shiny. Well, mine's white. Use whatever color you got. You better hide it before I bite it. I used to do that with my kids. And my family did it to me, obviously, right? It was a tradition, fighting the hiney. But playing. So now, if that story gets taken out of context, let's just use that as an example, right? And they're like, oh, those people from like the European, right, Nordic tribe, they used to like to eat their children's butts because it's right flesh off the whatever, right? Some kind of, so it's like, ah! Or if you tell that to a child, because we all love stories when we're kids, right? Then so getting to the smoking thing, and again, I don't too. It's like when we as people do things naturally, and people that don't have ability to already, right? My cup overfilleth, like Lilith. Lilith too. It says at one point in the Bible, like right, pay special attention to the lily, because the lily spirals, it tools. And every rose has its thorn. So if we have something that rose in us, there's probably some prickly bushes up in there too, right? That we gotta deal with, right? So that's kind of how my right, and also I want to put a little attention. They're giving me that because it's very important. Us rainbow star seeds from the outer realms that are here, right? That we're all supporting one another, and the children, which is us as well, really need our support. Women, children, elderly, animals, the waters, all elemental, everything needs love and nurturing right now. Your inner child. This is the rising of the divine feminine. And that's, again, don't look at the devil or the divine feminine or the divine masculine as anyone or anything else but yourself. Satan, what's going on behind your back, right? Like, I did this, but, or I can't tell them that, right? So then that's like the devil. The devil's the ego. They won't accept me if I let them know that. And it doesn't mean we have to go around telling everybody all our business. It's just starting to subtract that feeling that, wait a minute, other people are feeling that way too. So I don't have to go tell everybody, oh, I'm a victim and I'm a martyr and I need all this help and blah, 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 blah. Right? But I can connect with others and be like, yo, I'm going through that too. Like, I'm here right now doing what you, right? We're all going through that on a different level, because this is master twin flame alchemy, right? Your twin flame is within you. It's the balance of the yin and yang, the east and west, right? The north node and the south node, which I look at like a chicken egg. It's like we're the chicken in the middle, and the south node is like where we come up from, and the north node is like when the wheel turns, all the stuff that we've gathered up from the shell, it like goes up and around, and then it gets dumped on our head from the north node. Kind of like the pendulum swinging, or if you've ever been on one of those rides that, like, right, you start to swing and then it brings you higher, baby, and higher, baby, right? And then eventually it's up on the other side. And sometimes it goes all the way around, but a lot of time it just goes up and then fall back down, right? So there's a lot of, we're switching poles, and right, this is a, like in the I think in the Bible it says, don't quote me, pay special attention to the writing on the walls, which is the stars, right? So being in tune with the cosmos and the planetary alignments doesn't mean you need to know everything. Just what naturally is coming up. Oh, we have Google, we have all this amazing technology and AI. AI. Burn out. Burn out. Burn out. Burn out. Ozzy Osbourne, didn't they say he ate a bat a long time ago? Batters. In ancient times too, they say, I think, that we come from the bat. In some cultures, which again, if we're hanging upside down, that's kind of relative to being hung, suspended upside down in the mother's womb. in the liquidity of time. That's like the sons of Samael. Tubal Cain. Think of that, right? In the fallopian tubes. Or coming through, right? Or up through the gut. Because the gut, the women's parts, and the brain can all mimic one another quite the same. And then the cloud formations that come and rise from above. Well, see, yeah, because I'm flipped, because if we're flipped around, it's funny, I just Freudian slipped that. I'm like, well, hold on a minute. Because, yeah, if we're really upside down, like our eyes see in an upside down view, right? And like we were just talking about the bat, hang upside down, or a fetus in the womb, unless it's breech, right, hangs in a suspended amniotic sac fluid in the uterus, right, of the mother. A female's body is, right, considered cattle. And I love what Roseanne just said the other day about it being like a CERN being like a woman's vagina. And yeah, it's like they're trying to take the woman, well, not that they're trying to take the, well, yeah, some are trying to take the woman out of the equation, and a lot of us already are experiencing much of that. But there's a lot of anger and a lot of resentment and a lot of places that others haven't had the permission to say, again, it's okay, brother, it's okay, sister, you need some time to go be able to, right, time and space for processing. Go through what you need to go through internally so that we're all able to cleanse ourselves. Not you should do this or you should be here or how come you didn't do that and you're a ABC 1 2 3 and we're going to name you an acronym and prescribe you a pill and tell you get better soon and something's wrong with them still. I was on the phone with one of our agencies yesterday and was told that, right, I'm too honest, which I've been told before, right? But if they don't want that to affect my ability to be eligible for what I was, right, applying for. So it's like, and so we're all like, right, watching them too as they're doing whatever they're doing. It's like where money's being raised. Do people raise a farm animals? Like, how did the credit card system get started? Oh boy. And money, right? The word money it's green and it's magnetic, right? We're attracted to it. We see money, we're like, ooh. That's another thing that was said the other day. All due respect, about kryptonite. And it's like, well, what's kryptonite? Green with jealousy. The grass is greener on the other side. Money, money, money. It's like what pulls at our guts. Taking a look at that, right? I don't like what I'm talking about. Watch it. It's like freedom of speech. And when people lie and try to keep things hidden for a very long time, they're going to get very upset, uncomfortable, and pissed the fuck off. Once that ground starts shaking and the geyser goes, because we can't stop that either. We don't have power over that. That's the whole thing. It's like we recognize we're powerless and there's a power greater than ourselves. So we join short circuit. We join forces together, no matter the weather, and we don't need to know each other's name or what, right? Devil's in the details. We just need to know that we're on the right stream. We're in our here and now, and we're present, right? Present. Are you here? I'm glad you are. Right? Present. That's why they call it present, right? Not let me give you a present. Let me give you a gift. You should come over here. Blah, blah. That's not a gift. That's a lure. That's Satan taught his, right, little concubines how to fish. Go fishing. Go on fishing. I know what you can do. Remember, not all that glitters is gold. Pirates. Arr, I go parlay. Happy Friday. Oh, I do want to share this with you too. I'm going to keep this short and then I'll come back on because we're trying to do shorter videos. I'll put on here. So, but I'm going to just quickly share. I was just kind of, and it's funny. Are you able to see that? I hope. And then, right, like we see the stars in the night sky. And don't forget, 12 a.m. is when everything begins. And that darkness creates the light. Ignore the top here. This was just Freedom Radio, Brent Johnson. I'm not quite even sure why I wrote that. And I just drew this on top of that. But that might mean something to you too. Freedom Radio. And so, right, like what's a board game? Are you bored? Video game, right? I have my blunt right here that's rolled. I was giggling yesterday because I generally buy a lot of game blunts. Got a lot of game. We be rolling. They hating. They try to catch me riding dirty. That song keeps coming up this week too. So the ruby mines. It's electric. Oogie, oogie, oogie. Emerald tablets. Emerald caves. Green with envy. Maybe jade. Jaded. Think of the different greens, the different gems, the different stones. Maybe look up the metaphysical meanings or the spiritual meaning. And two, when you get raw, uncut stones, think of like an amethyst. Upside, like until that thing is cracked, it just looks like the pavement. Right? It's like all dark on one side. And when we crack the geo, right, then it's like, whoa. And that's called matrix also. And matrix is also the belief system, right? Belial. Sons of Belial. What happened to Tiwaz? $33.33. So when people are not willing to listen to constructive criticism and all sit at the table and share a meal, mana, it's like a potluck kind of affair. Everybody brings what they can. Arr, who goes there? So, but when some just come just to like, right, so disrespectfully, and they just think they should be served, and they like put their feet up on the table, they don't wash their hands before they come in, kind of stuff. It's just like, which we don't. It's like whatever. What I'm like, I love getting all messy and eating with my hands. So that's not what I'm saying. It's the attitude and what one is carrying with them. Or when they shape shift because others are around, it's like then they change tune real quick. Which is most of the people that are right running. What's running? Put the needle on the record. Is our faucet running? Sarah. Rhymes with Sarah. Sarah Faucet. Sahara Pipeline. Oh, keystone. And what's a pipeline? Are these pipes? Right? I love the St. Francis prayer. I've said this many times. It's one of my favorites. If you don't know what to do with yourself, that's a really good way and one thing to start. And it doesn't have to be a religious thing because I'm not religious. I'm super spiritual and I love listening to where others are coming from because where we all come from is important, right? BLM is business land management. Don't let them rock you to sleep by throwing something out there to make you fight over, and now you're all fighting over pinata candy for fucking that ain't even good for you anyway. It's a loss as soon as you ran when the gun went off. That's why we're in a deficit. What's deaf backwards? Well, feds. Oh, I can't. All up. No, I'm just playing with you all too. Everybody a baby inside and a devil inside, right? Everybody need a motherfucking hug so they can come alive. Cause I got a feeling deep inside. It's taking over deep inside. Ooh, that's what I wanted to speak on before I take off. Oh, wait, come on now. Don't do that again. Like that bird that just flew over my head. I saw its shadow. That's what just happened to my thought. Twice I wanted to speak. Wait, it's coming back. It's got to come. Hold on. Oh, heart chakra, Taurus field. Many of you this week and up and coming may experience, if you haven't already, hot, cold sweats, headache, kind of like a brain freeze. It may come on really strong for a few seconds, some ringing in your ear or a pain in your ear, or one of your ears. You may get pains in the lower abdominal area because the sacral chakra is being cleansed. The gut is being cleansed. The sacral chakra is like the soils of the earth, also, right? Which is where Osiris lay, right? The gods of the earth. And what makes things sprout up from the ground? Electricity comes up from underneath to create the light that then rises up and travels through us, right? I'll travel light. So same with underground, the underworld. When people fear the underworld, it's like that's where everything comes from. Everything's birthed in the dark. A seed, a star, a thought, creation. Even, right, human in the dark. Even the act of it is generally in the dark, or right there in the physical act of it, one goes into the dark cave, right? And two become one. So it's really important because a lot of people too are talking about, right, STDs, STIs, etc. Well, spiritually transmitted diseases absolutely are a thing. There's a lot of mix-ups, right? If Abel was murdered, then there were three. And then that's where there's a lot of, right, sorry to say, right, incestual bloodlines. Solomon went through the Davidic bloodline, right? Or the Queen of Sheba wished for Solomon's wisdom, but what's wisdom? Whose wisdom? Solomon's wisdom. Who is wisdom? 4014. Shut that damn door. There's a draft in here. Someone trying to hack in the back door. There's a movie too called, what's it called? Is it Cosmo Ball? I think it might be on Prime. That was kind of cool, just to kind of give a reference. It was like this dude, like, right, pretended he was like on the like up and up and whatever, and started to have feelings for this girl, but he came to Cosmo Ball and whatever, they picked him to play, and throughout it he brought like a poison pod up into the ship when the ship is alive, and then it started turning everything, like killing it, and then right, I believe then he started to develop a conscience. But not until after, right? He already 4114 snuck in with the poison, right? Like we didn't already have awareness of that prior to. That's why too, it's like when people take other people's information and go run with it and then go try to profit off of it and block where they got it from, or try to kill or keep it right buried so that they can be the presence of, in the presence of, or appear to have it all together, or look some type of way, but inside they got that poison pod eating them away. What is the word AIDS mean to you? I said this like, 5 years ago. They gave this information to me because again, the devil likes to jumble words, and all lies have to be mixed with truth in order to be somewhat believable and have one follow that presented stream. It's like, remember in Pinocchio when the guy lures Pinocchio and Jiminy Cricket's like, hey, Pinocchio, and he just starts to ignore Jiminy Cricket. Well, that's like everyone is at some point ignored, right, their God, that conscience that's like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that, right? The good angel. It's like, right, I'm gonna do it, Tubal Cain. I'm gonna use my will. He taught Ham, right, within the vessel of Noah, how to eat meat and take what you want as your will. Because God wouldn't have given you will unless it was meant to be used. Which also gets into like Crowley and Azazel, and again, whatever, right? So just the more that you're able to, again, disassociate, so to speak, desensitize, not right, the thought, judgment, and feeling that comes with it after you experience it, because it's like, what is that? And that's scary, or that's bad, or those, right? And it doesn't mean like get all deep into it. No, be very, very cautious about what you get deep into. Allow what comes naturally to flow and ask for guidance and clarity as you go, and to be guided, right, by the resonance of truth, which again, truth resonates right here. Say your name, right? Say my name, say my name. I'm on, yo. Whatever one you go by. You might go by quite a few names, right? Say where you live. Say a few words like, right, I am Metaphysical Mama. So that's my truth. So there's no weird feeling going on. There's no alter hum or vibration traveling through. That's my truth, right? My name is Sarah. That's my truth. So there's no, it's just that, right? I'm wearing a hat right now that says, I can't adult today. So presently, that's my truth, right? I'm wearing this hat. And we'll be in this video eternally, right? Oh, I won't be wearing this eternally on my head, but it'll be eternally on my head here, right? So that's like the whole philosopher's stone thing too, right? Being able to come back and forth, smooth the stone, smooth the static. Wax on, wax off. Hi, Pop. Big cappy up in the sky. I was like, what happened to that capstone? Chester Copperpot. Goonies never say either. I never say D-I-E or B-Y-E. Even in German, we say Tschüss, not Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen means bye, goodbye. We never say, right? Even Bon Jovi saying that. Never say those words. Or I don't even want to spell the K word. That makes, right, attached to ill. There you go, right there. Right? If you look up I always forget his name, and he passed away, bless his soul. He passed on to be the water. Marimoto. I forget his name. But look up sound resonance and water if you've never done so. Or they do it with the sand too, on like black sheets with and again, Howard crop circles. Yeah, a friend of mine, we were talking about that the other day. It could come from above too, like the pressing down of like Mother Earth, more so coming from underground, right? Motherboard's coming from under. Unless that's radiation coming down, showing the sacred geometry. Because thoughts use the sacred geometry, children of the light. So their ability to see those spider webs, cosmic rays and webs. Right, the first language. And then we have symbols, right? Runes. Ancient Sumerian, those ancient tablets and what have you. Those are like one symbol is like, if you do any kind of coding is a language, right? Like how I'm able to appear on this stream to you presently, and welcome again, and thank you so much for hanging out with me, with us. This is right, for all of us, always. There's a place where you can always come, you can pause, you don't have to ever take it all at once. I don't really give up if you or not. It's like, if you're here, I'm grateful, and I hope you get a little something out of it to like throughout your experience, and then that makes me feel good, and I may or may not know about that, and that's cool too. Right? So it's like, I don't need to know all that detail stuff. I just show up when I'm supposed to, where I'm supposed to, best I can. But I'll tell you, I also get very stuck, right? Like a lot of my fear will come from fear of fear of success, or fear sometimes, right? Fear of the light, of being seen, or fear of, because also what comes with all that. So that's nothing that I've ever really wanted, right? Like in that manner. Is for someone to, because I'm here just like everybody else. So I don't need any extra thing to be like, oh, I want to make it and be this and have that. Not, it's like what I'm supposed to have is going to naturally come. And I'm just so happy to be here for the journey of it all, right? That's what Earth is, a school, and life is a journey. And I just come with as much love as I possibly can while I'm learning who I am, right? Why I am. And that takes time too, like just to even get where I am right now in this present moment, which isn't where I always stay. Again, like same with the hat. The only constant, right? Constantine is change. We're weighing the scales, right? So how the scales are shifted, right? Our thoughts and feelings that are coming up and through the pyramid, the beehive, right? So once we see ourselves in a different kind of way, we start to change the way that we think, right? At the altar, we alter our perception, right? Quarter turn. It's like, okay, wait, I'm experiencing it. Maybe I keep reacting in the same manner over and over and over and over, right? It's a pattern. The way I think, the way I feel, right? Or I'm just starting to become unstuck from a present situation in my life, something I've been going through for a long time, which, right, could be a relationship, could be, right, you're going to sober up. And that's what this is about, sobering up on all levels. But it doesn't mean like, oh, everybody's going to be more perfect than thou and blah, 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 blah. No, it means we're going to be more fucking aware of who and what we are, so we don't keep falling, tripping in someone else's hole and making a bunch of, right, and then saying, I know I didn't, and where'd that one go? Okay? It's like, so... Let the children lead the way. Let your inner child lead your way. Remember who they are, who you are, and start from there. And start guiding them like you would guide any other child or someone, an elderly or someone that needs help, right? Not because you want something, just because you see that they needed something and you're like, oh, here, I'm right here to help. Not because you expect a reward or something in return. You don't have some hopes, dreams, and expectations attached to them. Like a... It's like, ooh, I mean, it's like, okay, that would maybe be nice. Cool, right? I'm experiencing the different possibilities. Or ones that might not be so nice, like, ugh. But I have to be the observer of self. Most are right used to observing others, right? And then some of us too, again, like Aquarian moon, total awkward, awkward girl. I feel like anyhow, my whole life, it's like I can get along with whoever, whenever, but I'm a very much of a hermit and a like invert. As much as I'm like and like free spirit, I'm also right. The polarity of that is like Hermit the frog. So, right, the other end of wisdom, which is just timing. It's like, is the baby ready to be born? Not yet, motherfucker. I don't know any more than you, except the roundabout. It's estimated. It's not direct. So when people want to try to make things what they want them, and then they're all disappointed, that's just right. It's like that's our man part of our mind, because we do have a lot of like passion and drive and determination to figure things out, and it feels good to be recognized or appreciated, or when something goes good, right? It's like, yeah, celebrate that shit. And then also, it's okay to make a mistake, because we're gonna make lots of them before we get shit where it feels like, okay, I got a little more awareness of how that operates now. So I have a little more tools in my box because I took that class before. So even though I may still be experiencing that on some level now, it's in a different way, but it's still familiar. So I have a little bit more ability to handle how I personally react to it. I can recognize that smell and I don't have to judge it, right? And sometimes I have to put a little caution up there, Because again, when someone is in an unpredictable state, right, including ourselves, because as soon as something occurs, or somebody say been drinking or fucked up on something, right, the chemicals are changed, or they got something on their mind, or they've been holding on to something, dis-ease, carrying a carrier of dis-ease, and we all are, right? What do you carry with you? Where's your carry inside, right? Where do you feel like you have to hide in your shell sometimes? But then on the opposite, it's like, but I also feel like it's like, right? It's getting really hot out here. I have to go inside. I'm starting to actually feel kind of nauseous out here. Speaking of which, oh, yesterday too. So that's a lot of energy coming up. Heart chakras are opening. That's what I was saying before. Be patient with yourself. It may feel like a heart attack. Okay, so discernment. Again, say your own name. Say some names that aren't yours, so you have that awareness. Of where truth resonates. My Lord. So you have awareness of where truth resonates within you, right? I don't know how loud those trucks were driving by me. They were loud to me. So it's really important to play with that within self. Your body, your bottle of water, okay, right? And when you drink your water too, give it a little swirly swirl. Be like, I love you, you love me, we a happy family. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Whatever. I mean, it's just like, just give a little love to what you're putting in your body, right? And a little swirl, because that gives a little life to the party. And it's like, ooh, thank you. Be grateful. Because isn't it beautiful to be able to hold a drink with our own hand and put it to our lips and have a sip and drink it down and know that it goes in, but do we know everywhere it goes and what it's doing? Right? So the things we take for granted, the things that we don't really think about, which is something to think about, right? Allow yourself time and space to give yourself permission to do that. Today is, right, usually I'll do a Fairy Friday too. I gotta find my book. I've been in between, like, right, like, well, just eviction. Papa Joe is still in the hospital, and Ridgefield. There's so much going on beneath the remains. And so, yeah, a lot of things are just kind of on a small standstill. So there's not a lot of pushing and tugging. And I want to absolutely be grateful and say thank you for that. I'm really grateful. And at the same time, it's been a lot. So it's like all that we've all experienced, right? We all have a need of well-deserved break. It's like all of us, yeah, and many of us are like, yeah, it's like we've been doing this like nonstop and then to still have, see, that's coming to a boop, take the needle off the record and snap that shit over your motherfucking knee. Right, water in the knee. Where's Atlantis come from again? Water in the knee. The knees represent pride. If your hips are hurting, the hips can represent like, right, being afraid to move forward, right? The Kundalini is rising, which is, right, the double snakes up the spine. And we already have one, Asclepius. So now the Caduceus, the other two are rising up, the divine masculine and feminine. It's like Osiris and Nut and Isis. Right? It's like those goddesses, the same, just different levels of consciousness with the name. Right? It's like, how many different jobs have you held or done in your life? Did you have different names at those at those jobs, right? Different positions that you took, titles, etc. So we have different names when we're in different stages of our lives, right? Doing different things, being part of, right, different vibrations, learning more about ourselves, others, environments, right? And then it's like Mr. Miyagi and the Karate Kid. And he's like, man, I gotta wax cars and paint fences, and we gotta be worker bees for what? What is this for? We wanted to learn karate. Why am I learning how to wax a car? But then later, unconsciously, wax on, wax off, right? And up, down, right? So then he was able to do that pretty much without thinking, not worrying about, am I doing karate right? Am I the toughest one? Is that the right move? Am I doing it with the proper, right? So different ways of learning for different people too. And don't think our elders didn't have that info on us, because they're like, they're like, let's see how this works. And then they're like, sprinkle, sprinkle, pixie dust. And then there we go. And we're like, and we have an experience, right, in the matrix, in the simulation, which is part of our growth. It's like the archons are watching their little baby seeds and what have you, and they get a kick out of it. They're like, look at these two assholes. Look at those two fighting. And think like how your grandmother would speak to you. And that's something I read in the book this morning in Atlantis. I've opened to the masculine part of it. I'll come back on and do another video solely with that. And it was the grandmother saying to Adama, I think his brother had died in the war. But before that, the grandmother would make them face each other and hold hands when they were angry at each other until they made up. And I have a friend that told me something like that too. He said his grandfather used to make him and his brother kneel on the floor on dry rice and face each other when they would because they would beat each other up until they would make up. And I was like, ooh, that's a slick one. And that must hurt a lot. Little grains of rice and yeah. It's like little things like that. It's like, yeah, motherfuckers. Oh yeah. So don't think the elders aren't going to teach you, me, us a lesson if we're resistant and keep, right, Capricorny ramming and trying, and like, I'm not, nope, that's not it, it's it, and have an answer for everything. Good luck with that. you will not win that, because that's the work you have to do within you to bloom your beautiful lotus flower, like Buddha, right? The lily comes up from the mud to the surface, has to make its way up again out of the dark with the lotus. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. I need to put something in my brain. I got some nice fruit and stuff. I'm gonna go inside and have some fruit, and don't make fun of me, and granola. It's too hot to eat anything else. So yeah, granola and nuts and some fresh fruit. And I'm gonna make some, I love to make my fresh tea, as you all know. So I've been making, I think I may bottle that shit. A while back, I was gonna start a business with food, like smoothies and and just little somethings or others. So yeah, that's kind of part of it. But I got my special secrets I cannot reveal to you here now. Too many doppelgangers and cloners and copy. Copy this, copy that, copycat. Give me a break. Give me a break. I'm teasing. Break me off a piece of that. There's 4 in there, right? 4 of a kind. Oh, 10444. Ooh, what did that all just mean? I don't want to know. Unless it's meant for me. That's kind of how I do shit too. As far as like Because sometimes, right, things pop up and it's like, oop, hot potato. It's like, I don't know what that just was. Hiccup or burp. Give me the loot. Give me the loot. It's a toot from the head. I'm a bad boy. You run with that. It's like, what are you stealing the fleece's wool? How many bags full? Oh Lord. Okay. I'm gonna spaceship rocket out of here. Surfing out. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. I'm sure there was a lot of things that I wanted to say that I'm gonna remember as soon as I click off. But hopefully you got that telepathically anyway. And I love y'all so much, and I so appreciate you coming to hang out. And just hang in there, just keep swimming, and no matter what, keep doing your best to take a breath. Really do it. Inflation is caused by blank. Sometimes don't breathe. Breathe out. And then just breathe in ever so gently. And just kind of, right, be that calm. After you've inhaled and exhaled and decompressed some of that energy that's unnecessary in your nest. Right? Clear the mind, and you'll be feeling just fine. Bring it back down to the heart chakra. Allow that to keep clearing. It's like the waves, right? They keep moving, right? So in your mind's eye, allow that to be part of your meditation. And you can do that anytime. It's like, ooh, right? Breathe in. It's like a temperature gauge, or like the ding. Allow that energy to go up, allow it to come down. And you can feel it and see it. Again, and if you're unaware of how to do that, again, right? Say my name, say your name. Give yourself some truth. If you're unsure, if you just felt like you might have gotten swindled a little, or someone gave you an unsure vibe, it's like, because I got a feeling deep inside. It's like a little electrical static current. So it's like, so we don't have to judge and be like, oh, they lied to me, or oh, they're hiding something, or oh, they blah. Okay, wait. I feel that energy, and it ain't quite in balance. So I can do my best to put love and neutrality, neutral, because it's like right. I feel, and then we're just hoping, not hoping. Then we just allow that energy to alchemize, and then it's like a chain reaction. So when we don't put too much emphasis on, right, it'll just naturally occur when it's meant to. I don't have to like reach in or reach out, right? And unless I am guided to, or right, that's a natural, like then it's like, oh, right, am I supposed to have more of a conversation to help bring that energy between that other being and I that we're both carrying? It's bringing. So is it you? Is it me? Or is it just, right, some kind of frequency that you and I are here to balance out in an in-between? I don't, Donkey Kong. King Kong? Captain Hook? Here's the hook. Plot twist. TikTok, TikTok. Remember, wasn't that the name also of Croc? Peter Pan and Pinocchio. All right. I appreciate you coming to hang out with me and our little energetic rainbow starseed family. And whatever else we are. We're a whole bunch of all mixed into And then yet we're trying to get out of, right, the mixtures of what's causing us to not feel so great. So, but that just may be something, again, inside us that we have to work on. So and a lot of time it's it, right? So it's a lot. Sometimes it's like, wait, maybe we're around someone else that didn't have permission or that's gone through a lot of abuse. So it's not our job to fix them or necessarily be like the savior or the, right, mother sometimes, right? Which again is really hard for us to like, it's like, oh, well, it's like, oh, like right now, look, there's shingling about to fall on somebody's head up there. Just hanging on for by a thread. Do you see it? I don't know if it's even showing you. Anywho, yeah, stuff like that. Things that are hanging. So us mothers gonna be like, watch out, there's something hanging on the thing, right? So we're gonna be cautiously, right, aware of things and always have that, like, right? So we're trying to also come out of that because a mom also needs time to be a person. A mom or a wife hasn't really known who they've been for a long time, being a mom or a wife at everyone's beck and call. So I'm speaking for many mamas out there and many daddies that are mamas, because again, that's a energy that we carry. So some are more feminine, motherly than others. It doesn't matter what you're biologically, what the F you are. Oh, squirrel over there. He's like, you hear that? Right on, Donkey Kong. You see him? I really hope you do. My little buddy. Look, he looks like he's waving. Hi. I hope you saw that. My little squirrel buddies. All right. So anyhow, don't let the bastards get you down for too long. Anyhow, how now, brown cow? Just tell them, move. Ludicrous. Move. Get out the way. Move, bitch. Get out the way. Oh no, the fight's out. I'm about to punch your lights out. One of the best times I ever heard that song, I was in Florida, and my sister and I and our families, I was like the one time I got to pay for for us to actually go on a trip, right? Single mom, always working mad jobs. I was like so proud of myself. I got to take my daughters to Disney. She's my middle daughter. She was my youngest at the time. I don't know, she don't even remember it. She was in a crib. So I would like to be able to, do some things with my daughters freely, and myself. We don't it's like we always love helping. We're always here, but we're not always here to serve. And when others don't want to take responsibility or accountability, because every action has an equal or opposite reaction. And when they use intellect, which is that able to be seen, can you describe that to me? When someone is using the power of the mind, MK Ultra, trying to take over ultra terrestrial time? Just saying. Ham. Isn't that backwards? M-A-H. Whatever. Capricorn. Rams. I love you, Cappies. We all Cappies too. That's like the teenage rebellion part of us. It's like, I ain't listening to that. I don't believe that. I don't, so give a little love to the Capricorns. It's like, it'll be all right. That's why they need to be throwing a fucking bone all the time. Those scavengers. It's all love. And two, we all have Cappy in us. You have all the 12 zodiac signs in you, right? The 12. That's a lot of Anunnaki, Sumerian, etc. There's a zodiacal chart. Above the zodiac, there's 13 moon mansions where the souls come from. I don't know if you guys remember that movie, Is It Seventh Sign, with Demi Moore as the old one. Sorry about doing it. Too, if you're like psychic, telepathic, etc., a lot of that is the pineal, right? It's like the transmission between the two parts of the brain, the eastern and the western hemisphere. And if you smoke herb, which is high alkaline, that actually, right, opens the path to Agartha. Well, wait, I didn't say Agartha. That's funny. Asgard. Agartha, yeah, also. Because it's the, right, Mary and John, marijuana is the medicine that was brought from Canis Major, Canis Minor, which is Isis, to soothe the children of Cain. All the different plant life we have here is all right. The Earth has been seeded by many star systems in order to have the abundance that we have, so all can live and survive and have what we need right here and now, right? Isn't that a much nicer way of looking at things? And to come into the awareness of, right, I am the sativa plant. I am a plant, a tree. My hair is an antenna. Which way is the root? Your feet. Some look at the sacral chakra, lower abdominal area as the root. Which, if you're in like baby pose with your legs up, right, then that is. If you're in like tuck position, waiting to be born, right? So there's so many different. That's interesting. There's so many different. 117. Sorry, I'm just getting a little download. There's so many different meanings and ways to look at things depending on where your consciousness originated at, where your place of origin begins. So that's what I do. I work naturally, like telepathically and energetically with you, or right. It's quantum. I don't necessarily need to be with you. I would never ever invade in someone else's right time or space intentionally without right like so it's like right. So just to give you a heads up, like as I go further with, as we're able to, and the ones that I'm supposed to work with, right? It was 118, as I just said that. That's how I do everything. So it's like if spirit guides me like I'm not supposed to like do anything to that flower, or I don't need to water it. I sometimes just needed to acknowledge it. Then that's all I do. I don't do any extra because it's also can be it's very dangerous to just try to wake people up. Okay. And so that was something I was told specifically by Pluto a long time ago, like in like 2015 or 2000, like so literally 119 latest on the nose. The nose always knows, and it got two sides, right? So I'm gonna say about that. Breath of life. So seriously though, yeah. So being respectful of, right? So right when we say like not throwing pearls to swine, it doesn't mean. It just means it's like we don't have to prove anything or do anything in order to make sure someone gets right where they need to be or they should be at a certain place. That's not our position or our place to make those decisions or judgments. We can show love, we can be there to relate, or sometimes it's just being there, period. Just our energy is all that was needed for Tao to get them to their next stage, right? It's like a little bit of sunshine, a little smile, right? Sometimes you don't need to do any more than that. So never feel like you're not doing enough, okay? This is about respecting and honoring and loving yourself and getting in tune with yourself and your spiritual nature, your divine right as a sovereign being. No labels, no names, no need for the house of fame. You want some clout? That rhymes with gout. Is it cloudy out? And the clouds collect storage, right? And then rain down on me. So just being a little more playful about how we see our world, our environment within and without, right? Allowing ourselves to have a little more faith, no doubt, and get the fuck off the Pony Express, which is full of hope. Because hope can get you stuck in a waiting room and bring you lots of disappointment and hopelessness. Doesn't mean don't have hope. It's like, oh, right, I can put hope out there, but I don't rely on hope or wishes or dreams in that manner. That's not a reality. Like, that's not that. Again, right, having awareness of like, when I do that, then I get stuck in an illusion in a place that may not really serve me down the long run, right? It's going to just prevent me from getting where I need to go. And then I'm still going to have to leave the waiting room and go that route. So I could take a break. That's okay. But be aware, right? And what's that doorway when you go down into the under? Or like Crowley's basement? It's like, all ye that enter, abandon all hope. Because Pandora's box had hope remaining in it. So there's hope. And then people think hope is like, oh, but hope is attached. Think about that. It has a fear or a worry attached to it, the word hope. I hope everything's going to be okay. I hope that they don't, blah, blah, blah. Well, then that's going to, you just said you hope that happens, whatever that is. Again, like coding, think about what you would punch into your toolbar, your search engine. I hope I don't find what I'm looking for. It's like, eh. So how we speak in human language is a little different than when we're, right, typing something into the computer or reading words in a linear fashion, or right in a formation that someone put together with their thoughts and inspiration from spirit and feelings that they were then able to put down in some manner digitally or written, right, or orally, right, audio. Pretty cool now. Even when we do these audios like this, you can like hit the bottom and hit transcript, right, and see all the words. Now, also, just flash alert, because me and many others, we're all aware again that we got lots of doppelgangers, gamers, cloners, others that have paid or gotten paid to interfere with our said destiny. Destiny is different than fate. And when others keep trying to manipulate and alter, at the alter things, again, that's that's what they did, right? They're gonna meet their maker, which is whatever they made up within them that now they have to deal with in order to, right, make repentance and clear their consciousness and clear their skeletons out of their closet and their garbage, etc., and come clean, right? And when they have confirmation that they're able to then go forward, that's what will occur, right? So we don't have to know all that information. Just know what's going to happen. The end. As like if you're bad in school, right? It's like you've been sent to the principal's office. You may get suspended. You may get expelled. We don't, right? We don't know, and so, but as we continue on, we'll see, and we just send love, and it's like, and right, what's that? When we. Captain Jack will get you high tonight. Captain Jack, Jack in a Box. Pottinger's cat experiment, that keeps coming up. Pop, pop, pop. I call my grandfather Pop Up. So things that keep coming up, yeah. Anyway, and then there it goes. So yeah. Popcorn. All right, and every rose has its thorn. Ain't the roses red? So it's all good. Just send love, and you know, we don't have to do no off with their heads. It's like we go straight for the head, because I want to talk to the head of what the fuck is going on around here. I don't want to talk to the belly of the beast. I don't want to talk to your feet. I'm not gonna get on my knees and look up to you so I can understand where you're coming from and have a sore neck, man. It's like if you want to meet me in the middle right here, hey, what's up, my dear? That's where we're at. And that's called sex, sacred energy exchange acronym. And that's that. I don't mean like, oh, that word, anything else. It's like, right, so it's like, where do people's thoughts go? And then that's cool. But, right, like, again, right, it just, yeah, a little respect would be number one rule. It'd be nice. And there is a lot of that. So thank you for those of you that carry that. And we ain't all perfect. You know, sometimes we get pissed off, blow up, feel the way we do. But at least, you know, those of us that acknowledge it, it's like, yo, sorry I blew up at you before. Sorry I said that. You know, I was just feeling some type of way. When you owe an apology, give one. If you don't, keep it fucking moving, yo. We're learning how to create a safe boundary. Well, I read this morning, and then I'm gonna close out. It was like, right, those that are hurt, right, retaliate, and then are in the survival mode. It's like are angry, right? You know, hurt people, and those of us that have been through all that pain and recognize it and are on the healing path because we don't want to feel that way anymore. There's a difference because we're not carrying that resentment or flight or fight response. It's more like, okay, I'm gonna look deeper into that because obviously they're in a lot of pain and they haven't had time or chance or ability maybe to have that experience to actually see themselves on the inside or what's going on, and they've believed a lot of bullshit, you know, myself included. So, or not necessarily believe, but right, allow things to kind of happen and unfold because I don't have control over it. I don't control over nobody else, and I'm not gonna go hunting and searching and trying to like, what did you do and da 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 da, and I found this and yeah, no, you want to hunt like that. If you want someone to chase you in that manner, again, that's like high school shit to me, or even less than, right? Like junior high, I don't even know, whatever. Like I don't, and it's like I don't, yeah, yeah, uh, yeah, yeah. So, hour and 30 in. I think that's quite a long enough Friday fringe message coming in. Sorry, I got silent there for a minute. I got some more downloads coming in. So I'm going to depart on that note and fly out of here. Ground control to Major Tom. Major Thumb? 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare thumb war. Do not let them in. All right, guys. I appreciate you coming and hanging out, and I hope you got something out of that. And I so appreciate you and your time and you being here as you are, and you matter. And never fucking forget that you're one of the mama stars. Find your star. Find your true north, right? Your truth, and just allow yourself to be part of, right, that cosmic frequency. And you'll be guided along your way. And it may get quite scary, right? Although I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall not fear. And fear is false evidence appearing real. Or fight or flight. Book everything and run. So we want to recognize when we're feeling fear and like, right? And then allow it. It's like, it's okay. Close your eyes if you're able to in a safe place. Breathe a few times. Be a good handler and controller of your electromagnetic fields and waters, right? Your Mercury that went rising to the top, your heaven that separated from Earth, from your gut. Bring the energy back down so it's nice and calm. And even if it's loud outside, it's like there is no sound. All right, y'all. One love. Peace out.